Hello everyone, my name is Jesse and welcome back to another Bakugan review. Today I wanted to showcase and kind of show you guys some of my favorite Bakugan that are not really in the show or not very featured or just different or unique or not like show accurate, that are just in my collection that I think are super cool and interesting to talk about. And yeah, this will probably be a more short video, but I did want to showcase some cool Bakugan that I have that may not really pertain to the show very much or have a huge impact on the show, but are really cool to me, and I think that you guys will enjoy them too. Yeah, so without further ado, let's jump into it. So first up, let's look at today's card. It's called River Styx. So each Darkest, Aquos, and Chaos Bakugan get 100 plus G power for each gate card in their opponent's use pile. Not really sure how useful that is, but it does feature Hydronoid, Preus, and Tigrera, which is pretty cool. So, first up on the list, we're going to take a look at a B1 Subterra Tuscore. Yeah, so Tuscore was always pretty cool in my opinion. I mean, it's a giant elephant. I think that's really cool. She's got an interesting ball design, so lots of like orange. Instead of like a more copper color, it's very orange, which is kind of neat. Yeah, and oh, some stuff's popping open already. She want to take a peek at you. So one thing to note about my Tuscore is that there is some G power printed on the back, which is kind of weird. And like, actually, that's kind of convenient that the ear popped open, because it says 400 Gs here, but then on the back it also looks like it says 400, but like reversed. I'm not sure if that's showing up on camera very well. Yeah, so I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's something that's like similar to what was going on with my Chaos Nemesis a couple videos back or what. But it was, I don't know, it was kind of interesting to note. So Tuscore has two manual parts, which are just these big legs. And we go and pop her open and do a little spin here. So as you can see, I mean, she's essentially just an elephant in Bakugan form, which is kind of cool. Normally, like right here is very like red. Mine got scratched off, which is kind of unfortunate. But still, really cool Bakugan. I've always loved Tuscore. For a while, she was like my favorite, especially in my collection. But yeah, she's just super cool. I love her ears and everything. To me, this like Subterra Tuscore is like one of the coolest Subterra Bakugan ever. And yeah, I thought she was just worth like showing you guys. They sell for about $50 online, like anywhere you look. I've seen them from like anywhere from like 40 or 50. I somehow managed to get this one for $21. I can't even remember how. It was quite a while ago. So yeah, if you're looking for one of these, expect to spend about 50 bucks, at least from where I've noticed online. So they do run pretty high up on the list. And then she's very easy to close. You just shut the feet, close the tail, and then the ears and the tusks kind of like come together and lock up. So yeah, pretty easy. Alright guys, next up on the list is Chaos Translucent Altair. So in Bakugan New Destroy, the second season, there is a Ventus Altair that's like kind of like one of the bad guys in the show. But I have a Chaos Translucent Altair, which is super awesome. This might be my favorite Bakugan to look at and play with, just because it's so easy and just like fun to open and play with. So yeah, you've got these really interesting colors. So like the translucent gray and then the red and the gold. I just love the color scheme. It's awesome. Yeah, so as you see, there's the Chaos symbol. And then all you do to open them up is pop these guys right here. These are like his feet. And then you can go ahead and open his horns if you really want. But yeah, so I'm going to pop him open. And then you roll his tail back kind of right there. But yeah, so I just think he's awesome. Like, he's such a cool look. Especially in this like Chaos color. Just like the translucent makes him look so much more special and everything. I don't know, to me it looks better than the Ventus, because the Ventus doesn't really look like it does in the show, because he's supposed to be like a mechanical Bakugan. But to me, this just looks so much better. Yeah, so right here he's 650 Gs, so he's pretty strong. I mean, not my strongest. I think my strongest is actually coming up next. But yeah, I mean, he's even got this cool like gold like lining on his tail. Like, the detail's amazing, if you can see that right there. Yeah, and I don't know, I really like him. Huge fan of this guy. And he's also like I said, really easy to close. So you just pop the feet, horns close, and then this horn kind of like, I guess it's like a tail spike goes back. But all it does is this locks back in, and then the head locks back in, and then the wings pop back in. So he's very easy. It's very hard to mess up opening him. And he also kind of opens up cool. So yeah, just a super big fan of this design on Altair. I also only think I spent like maybe like $8 on him, eight to $12. I can't remember exactly. But he was relatively cheap. He came in a bundle with my translucent Neo Dragonoid, so I don't remember the cost exactly. But these guys are also, they're just relatively cheap to buy, and they're just super cool to have. All right, so last but not least, we have a Chaos Baku Steel Abbas Omega. So I couldn't remember where Abbas Omega was in the show, but apparently in Bakugan New Vestroy, the second season, when Marucho gets Elfin and he fights Mylene, she uses an Aquos one of these, which I completely blanked on and hadn't remembered. So it's cool to know that that's where it came from. So this guy I found on eBay from a seller that shipped him from Hong Kong. He was like $9 or something, free shipping. It was really cheap, and he looked really cool, so I wanted him. Another thing to note is this Bakugan is incredibly light. Like every other Bakugan feels kind of heavier than this one does, so he's a super light Bakugan. Yeah, so not a whole lot going on the outside. I mean, we've got some cool designs and stuff on this like brushed steel, which is awesome, by the way. I mean, you've got a lot of spiraling going on here, which is super neat. And then some like intricate design patterns here. So maybe there is more going on, but it's just not very noticeable until you like really look at it, because the steel kind of like brushes over it more. So Abbas has a little, one manual part, kind of two, but I'm going to go ahead and pop them open. Yeah, so his mouth opens too. That's what I was kind of getting at. So let's go ahead and do like a spin on him and just kind of take a good look at him, because he's so cool looking. Yeah, so as you can see here, he's 730 Gs, which I think might be the strongest in my collection. I know I have a couple that are 720, but he's 730, which I'm pretty sure is my strongest. Yeah, so you get a lot of different Abbas Omegas, especially in this brushed steel. I think Aquos is a popular one. I like the Chaos just because of like the red on the blue. I think that's super cool. They match very well, and they just complement each other. So that's why I like him so much. His color scheme's super awesome. But yeah, you can get Abbas Omega in a ton of different variants. I just happen to like this one and prefer it the most. So yeah, this is the guy I kind of like keep open on display and just like random places around my desk. Just because he's kind of cool to look at all times. Yeah, so he closes very easy too. So he just like has that little piece that flares up, and then you kind of roll that down and then roll these pieces down. And he's got one piece that's kind of tight right here that I have to like click down on sometimes. But yeah, and he opens easy as well. It's kind of a shame that the little like flare head piece, whatever it is, doesn't pop open with everything else, but still cool nonetheless. Super awesome Bakugan, one of my favorites. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed. This one was just kind of like a quick side piece to just showcase. I wanted to showcase some of my favorite Bakugan that are not like really important to the show or whatever, but I thought were cool nonetheless and a little bit different from what you normally see. So yeah, feel free to leave a like, drop a comment, and of course subscribe for more awesome content. My name's Jesse. Peace out.